Welcome to Good as Gold, hosted by Nick Grovich, a show dedicated to helping you understand precious metals and rare coins, how to avoid the pitfalls when buying, and how to understand the inner workings of the precious metals market. Now, here's the host of Good as Gold, Nick Grovich.
Hi, Nick Grovich. We're back with you with another Good as Gold. Last week we talked a little bit more about rare coins. I'm probably going to do that a little more than what I've done the last 20 years. I've mentioned I just think there's a lot of changes coming in this market. I keep telling people it feels just like 1982, 1983. Everybody's waiting for gold and silver to bounce back. We just hit the highs. It's been 4 years now. It's been 4 years since the markets have started coming down. It's been really hard for people to make money in gold, silver, platinum the last 4 years. I mean, unless you're a trader, you're jumping in and out and taking some risk. It's been really hard. A few weeks ago, when gold ran up to $1,300, I was talking to a good friend of mine down in Florida, and I said, if we had any guts right now, we'd short the heck out of gold and maybe sell off 10,000 ounces of silver and just wait till it drops and cover it. Well, I didn't do it. I should have done it. We could have made quite a nice little profit, but that's not investing. That's just speculating. Had gold gone the opposite way, you could have lost 10 or 20 or $50,000 very quickly too. So, I mean, if you're doing that, you don't really want to be in my part of the market. You don't want to be doing that with physical gold and silver. You want to buy ETFs or options or play with the futures. But, like I said, that's just like going to Las Vegas and betting on the roulette wheel. So that's not really what we're talking about. Sometimes I try to give you some indications based on charting, based on what's going on in the market when I see some what I think are obvious distortions within the market. But in general, I'm not going to tell you it's going to 1,500 in 2 weeks, so you should buy today and sell tomorrow. That's really not my job. I'm not licensed to talk about that. I'm not going to do that. Although I will tell you when I see major changes in the markets. A lot of you have known me for quite a while. As you know, I've been in Phoenix for close to 35 years. I went back and looked at a lot of my recommendations over the last 15 years, and I probably give 10 sell recommendations for every one buy recommendation. Now, what do I mean by that? I went back and I looked, and this was about 5 years ago. The premium on St. Gaudens, for example, was way, way out of line. And it was obvious to me that the price had to come down or the premium had to come down. So what does that mean? It means when gold was $1,000 and MS65 St. Gaudens was close to $2,000. I think they were actually $1,800. And so you're paying almost double the price of gold for a common St. Gaudens coin. It made no sense. There was nothing behind it. The only thing that was behind it was that the dealers were selling a lot of coins. And what you have to remember is when they sell a lot of coins, it's not something that goes on and on and on. They might have a good week or a good month, but those people that buy those coins, they're not going to call back and buy every week. Typically, a gold buyer or a coin buyer, they're going to buy coins once and they're going to sit back and wait. It's not normal that people call and they spend $100,000 every month on the same type of coins. I mean, obviously there are some people that do that, but that's not the norm. So when you see these aberrations, I like to take advantage of them. And like I said, more often than not, I can see where something is going to fall in value, so I warn my clients that they should bail out and take their profits or lessen their losses or whatever the case may be if they own those coins. So I don't, unlike most dealers, I probably would be better off to try and sell more, but I'm really choosy about when I try to tell people to buy. I'm really choosy about what I tell people. I'm really particular about the coins that I recommend, simply because a lot of times there's some good opportunities out there, but I can't find the coins. And it's rare that I can find the coins that actually fit the program and don't put you at a lot of risk. So I do want to talk a little bit more about rare coins. I want to talk a little bit more about how you can make some money in bullion coins. We've talked about that a little bit before. But, in the office this morning, we were talking again about the barber coins. And those are the coins I talked about last week. And, I owe the barber, what I'm going to talk about, the barber coins, was due to a discussion I had at the Long Beach show a couple weeks ago. I look at the barber coins. If you're not familiar with them, these are the dimes, quarters, and half dollars that the government made from 1892 to 1916. They're one of the classic U.S. coins. Us old-time collectors all know the barber coins. It's just a coin every collector used to buy. Used to get the real serious investors that like to buy these coins. So it's not an oddball coin. It's not something we're waiting for a market to develop. The market's there. It's a classic. It's a well-recognized coin. You can get into millions of dollars in barber coins, and you can buy coins for less than $1,000. I mean, just to give you an example, an 1894S, that's one of the rare dates of barber dimes. One of those just sold recently for, I think it was close to $2 million. Now, that's a little bit of an exception. This is what would happen in the old days. They only made 24 of those coins. So people always say, well, Nick, why'd they make 24 dimes in 1894? Well, the San Francisco Mint, the director was off by $2.40 in the books. And rather than go through the books and figure out where he was off by $2.40, it was easier to simply mint 24 dimes and make the books even out. So, in the old days, they could get away with that kind of stuff. I'm not so sure they can get away with that today. They might be able to, I don't know. But it's really interesting. A lot of the ultra rare coins are coins that were made under these more suspicious kind of circumstances. The 1913 Liberty nickel, that's a $4 million, $5 million coin. There's only 5 of those. Well, why would the government make 5 coins? Well, it wasn't the government. It was the director of the mint again. 1913, they switched over to the Buffalo nickel. I think most of you are familiar with the Buffalo nickel. But they had already made the dies to make the old Liberty nickel. It had the Liberty head on the front, and it had a big V, Roman numeral 5, on the reverse. Well, the dies were made even though the government decided not to make that coin. So the mint director had the dies, he had the blank nickels, and he made himself 5, put a quarter in the box, and everything was legal. He kept the coins, gave a few to his friends. Now it's a $4 million coin. Same thing with the 1804 silver dollar, another multi-million-dollar coin. The coins are dated 1804, but the director of the mint made them in 1836. The whole reason was there was I might have this wrong, there's the King of Siam. I might be wrong on that. I might have the wrong king. Was coming to the United States, and they wanted to make something special for him. They had the dies for the 1804 dollar, which they hadn't used, so they made him a set of 1804 coins. Now, why that was special to give the King of Siam in 1836, I have no idea, but that's how the coins came to be. And then after they made one for him, they made a handful more, another American rarity. Even in modern times, we've talked about a 2007 half-ounce and quarter-ounce platinum eagle. They made a variety where the word freedom on the reverse of the coin is frosted. Usually it's mirror-like. You could see it's a mirror-like surface. You could read or look at yourself in it. And on 21 coins of each denomination, they made a frosted variety. Well, nobody paid attention. I don't think this was the director of the mint because they didn't keep them. They just, I think, were too lazy to melt the coins down and start from scratch. So they made 21 of each denomination of coin. They put it in the proof sets and they mailed them out to collectors. There's a coin that just sold for $69,000 about a year ago. So there's a lot of opportunities if you know what to look for. The key is to buy them right.
Once again, here's Nick Grovich.
Okay, we're back. I was talking about some of the rare coins, and I'm going to move on to the bullion coins that probably affect more of of you out there than the rare coins. If you have any questions about what I'm talking about, call into the station at 602-324-1510. If you're out in California, you want to call in, it's 800-293-5366. That's 800-293-5366. And I'm glad to change subjects if there's something else you want to talk about. Speaking of California, I'm going to head out there for the weekend. And, a lot of people have coins. They think they know what they are. They think they're common coins. And just like this 2007 relatively new coin, there's a lot of people sitting on those coins. There's 21 of them out there. We've only found one of the 21 coins. There's there's actually 63 of them because 3 different denominations. So there's a lot of coins out there. And if you have someone who knows what they're looking for, they can look at the coins and tell you maybe you have something worth 50, 60, 70,000 in there. And I'm going to head to California. I'd love to look at some 1921 Morgan dollars while I'm out there. It's just a matter of getting your hands on the right coins when you're there. Even the 1921 dollars, very common coin, but there's some varieties that are worth thousands of dollars. But if you don't look at them, you'll never know the difference. So, even coins stuck in your drawer, it's worth taking a look at. Last January and February, we sent out an email to our preferred clients, and you can get on our preferred client list if you call the office and just ask them to be on the preferred client list. It doesn't cost you anything. There was an aberration in the market, and a lot of the gold and silver eagles were worth quite a bit because dealers were putting sets together, and there were certain dates they needed. They were paying a lot of money for sets. So I sent a list out to my clients, a list of coins they should look for. Now, 6 months earlier, most of these coins were just worth the gold or silver that was in them. A lot of clients had bought the coins from American Federal. We sold them to them as bullion, and 6 months, a year later, depending when they bought them, they were selling them back to us for 50% more, 100% more than what they bought them for, and that was with gold falling. I mean, gold had fallen a couple $100 an ounce, and still we had people that were doubling their money on some of these coins. And that's a thing that most dealers are not going to do for you. They're not going to keep you updated as far as what to look for as the market changes. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit off task here. So why am I recommending rare coins again after a 20-year hiatus? I don't think you want to go out and sell your gold and sell your platinum and buy rare coins, but I see an awful lot of people who think they're sitting on a rare coin portfolio. There's not a day that goes by that I don't get a list from someone or talk to someone on the phone who's got $100,000, $200,000, $1 million tied up in what they think is rare coins. And most of the time, it's just common stuff. It's MS-65 silver dollars. It's Morgan dollars. Just very, very common coins. And they're waiting for one of two things. They're either waiting for gold to go to $2,000 or $5,000 or higher to make some money. They're waiting for silver to go to $100 or $200 to break even, or they're waiting for another coin market as we had back in the late 1980s, where any type of rare coin did really, really well. That's not likely to happen. You just can't live in the past and think that the coins that were good 30 years ago are going to take off all of a sudden. So for those kind of people, you're sitting on coins you think are rare and they're really not that great, or you're sitting on modern coins that really aren't that rare. They're just being promoted right now. I'd much rather see you sit on true classic coins like those barber coins. Another area I think is really kind of interesting are the old commemoratives. Now, most of you know they make newer commemorative coins. In 1982, they started making the George Washington $50. Not the quarter that you get in your pocket. It was a $50. It was the first commemorative coin they made since the 1950s. And, within the collector community, it was a really big deal. I remember I was actually pretty excited when they came out with that in 1982. It had George Washington on the front and sitting on his horse, and it had, I guess, I forget the building on the back, his birthplace. And the coin didn't turn out to be anything. It's not worth much more than the silver that's in it. But it started a whole new generation of collectors. And it's kind of this new generation that is providing a lot of the opportunity for profits. The problem is, us old guys, us old-time collectors, we refuse to look at this modern market as a real market. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It's been pretty profitable if you're in the right coins. I mean, some pretty common coins that, make me ask why. Why would $1 from 1989 go for $7,000 when I can buy a rare high relief St. Gaudens for the same amount of money? So, but my point is, ignoring this modern market is kind of crazy, because it actually offers you a lot of opportunities without spending a lot of money. So, for example, I'm bouncing back and forth a little bit, but in the rare coins, if you had a bunch of MS65 St. Gaudens, you're looking at a coin that's worth $1,600 to $1,700 a coin. The coin peaked out at about $2,200 when gold was $1,900, and it was maybe as low as $1,200 when gold was down to $400 an ounce. So it really hasn't made much of a move. Even if you bought it at the very bottom and rode it to the top and sold it, by the time you paid dealer markups and commissions, you would not have even doubled your money. And at the peak of market, gold was up nearly 500%. So you're sitting on something like that, you think you have rare coins. I mean, here's a good example of something you could do. The older U.S. commemorative coins, now I'm talking about coins made from 1892 up until the 1950s. These coins were hot as a firecracker back in the late 80s. Even the most common coins were going for nearly $1,000. I mean, those are coins you could buy today for under $100. That was the Iowa commemorative. But there's 50 coins in a complete set. You could put together almost half of that set for what it cost you today to go out and buy 2 MS65 St. Gaudens. And I guess I look at that and I think, okay, the St. Gaudens and MS65, there's I had the numbers written down here, but there's probably, I think 300,000 of them in MS65. There's over 2 million of them in MS64. So how rare is that coin? Instead, you could buy 20 of these commemoratives. Most of the commemoratives were made with mintages of 10, 20, 30,000 coins. Most of them have populations, that is the number of coins graded today, of a couple thousand or less. And you can get 20 of these coins, which is half the set, for trading in 2 of your St. Gaudens. I think it's crazy to own St. Gaudens. Here's a couple examples, and these are very common commemoratives. The Boone commemorative, they made those in 1934. In MS65, that's a $200 coin. There's 1,000 coins out there. In MS66, so you're going up a pretty hefty, it's 1 point, but there's a big difference in quality. There's 400 coins. You could buy that for $300. And if you get into the lofty grade of MS67, which is pretty tough, there's 60 coins graded. Now I'm talking about both NGC and PCGS, 60 coins, and the coin goes for $800. So for $800, would you rather own a common $10 Liberty that there's millions of out there, or would you rather own one of 60 coins available? $800, I'd rather own one of 60 coins. I've got a lot of other examples, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose you if I go through and tell you about Oregon's and Texas. My point is, if you want to be in rare coins, there's a lot of great stuff out there. It may or may not go up. It's not like it was in the 80s where you're just going to buy something and make money. But you can certainly do a lot better than owning common coins and sitting on them and just hoping gold and silver is going to go up and bail you out. Most of these coins that are under $200 today were $1,500 to $3,000 back in 1989. You're not going back to those prices again, but how much downside is there on a $200 coin? Your risk, believe it or not, your risk actually is very low on a lot of these coins. You just got to be very specific about what you want, and use a little common sense when you buy them. You just got to buy them right. You got to buy the higher grades. and you really need somebody to look at the coins who knows what they're looking at to buy really the coins with a lot of eye appeal and luster on them. Anyway, we'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with you. I got a little off track there in the last segment. You know, the thing is, dealers are still selling the same old coins. You call one of the big telemarketers, and when I say dealers, they're mostly salesmen, so they're just selling you what's easy to sell. They're selling you, you know, what they don't have to explain to you that much. They're not much into education. Maybe I'm too much into education. Maybe I teach my clients too much, but I think the information and knowledge is very valuable. So, you know, if you call the average dealer, he's going to tell you buy Morgan dollars, buy St. Gaudens, buy $20 Liberties. You know, those are coins that died 25 years ago simply because they're so common. They're around in literally the millions. There's millions and millions of those coins around. Even in high quality, there's tens of thousands of those coins, if not hundreds of thousands. They're not collectible, and they're 100% dependent on the coin dealers. So you're buying a coin as an investment, and you're 100% dependent on the dealers selling enough of them to raise the price. You're not in the real market anymore. You're in a market where you're dependent on a salesman to sell enough coins to make you a profit. And the problem is, even if that happens, even the few times that that's happened, you don't get the information about when it's time to sell, because you're not just watching for gold to go to 2,000 or 5,000 or whatever that price is. You're dependent on knowing what's going on in the collector's market. So, you know, if you're buying these same coins that you've been pushing for the last 30 years, you kind of missed out. You missed the market. You missed your opportunity to sell. You know, that the last opportunity to make money on most of those coins, I mean real money, you might have got lucky when gold went up, was really 1989. So, you know, a lot of dealers, they're just salesmen. They're trying to sell you something, and if gold goes to $5,000 or $10,000 an ounce, you know, it's in a high wind, every turkey flies, I guess is that old saying. But I don't think that's really a good way to invest your money or protect your money or hedge your money. I was talking with a friend of mine last night, and we were talking about living in the now. And I was thinking about that here. You have to invest in it now. You can't invest 30 years behind. You can't invest in the past and think that it's going to help you today, now, or in the future. I spend more time researching and looking for market opportunities than I do actually selling coins. So I like to think my clients, at least those that will listen to me, I like to think that they benefit by that. And what I've been saying the last couple months is there's some major market changes right now. It's probably the first time in 15 years I've really come out and said in public that there's market changes and you need to change your portfolios, need to change your way of thinking. So give me a little plug here. I would encourage you to call American Federal, call the office, 480-553-5282. Ask them for my new 2015 forecast. I'll give you specific coins you should look for. You might already own a lot of these coins. If you do, wonderful. You're going to make some money purely by mistake, but you know it's worth taking a look at what you own. But after you read it, be careful, because what happens is a lot of people read what I have to say. They'll take my recommendations. They'll call one of the telemarketers and say, hey, Grovich said I should be buying 1986 half-ounce gold eagles, and they're going to be glad to sell them to you. The problem is they're going to sell them to you for $1,200 to $1,500 a coin, and they're really a good deal because they're available for $750 to $800 a coin. So if you're going to pay 50% too much, don't call me back later and say I didn't make money on it when you pay too much. My point is, if you're gonna take my advice, I really would encourage you, call me or call one of the guys at the office and let us handle it for you. Are we going to make a profit? Sure, but nobody's going to sell you coins for nothing. The difference is when it's time to sell those coins, just like it was last January, we're going to be on top of it. We're going to let you know that it's time. We're going to tell you how much you can make or if you can trade for more gold or silver, and we're going to handle the whole process for you. And you know, I'd love to do that for everybody. I'd love to say, here's what you buy, and everybody goes and buys their own coins, and then when it's time to sell, just tell every every coin buyer in the country, hey, it's time to sell those coins. I can't. I have an obligation to my clients. They pay me. I take care of my clients. And the problem you get into, I don't care what part of the coin market, the market's a thin market. There are times when I can't sell more than 100 of a certain coin, or a couple, sometimes it's down to a dozen of a certain coin without completely destroying the market. So when the time comes to sell, if you buy from most of these other dealers, the majority of them are not going to call you back and tell you to sell them unless they can trade you into something that they're making more money on. So if you want to go the whole round trip where we buy coins, you sell coins, you make some profits, call me. I'll be glad to take care of you. I'll be glad to inform you when it's time to sell. Now, let me get down to some specifics. Here's what I'm leading into. Just 2 days ago, I was reading in Coin World magazine. That's what all us nerdy coin collectors read. It's very exciting. And they were talking about a 1989 dollar. It's a commemorative dollar that's sold for over $7,000. Which is, to me, insane. That's a common coin. Most of the time you could buy those for $20 to $25, and yet one coin just sold at auction for $7,000. So why did this one coin go for $7,000? Well, I think it's indicative of what I keep telling you, that the move right now by the newest collectors is into the modern coins. I mean, the fact that somebody pays $7,000 for what I consider a brand new coin, it's not an especially rare coin. They made 135,000 of them. This happens to be one of the first coins that was graded MS-70. So there's a big push right now for people to have registry sets. What a registry set is you buy the different coins within the series, you try and get the highest grades, you get a point system, and then you get to put your name on PCGS or NGC's site as having the best. So it's kind of an ego trip, but it's worth a lot of money if you do it the right way. Now here's what's going to happen. That coin sold for $7,000, so you're going to see telemarketers all over the place are going to start selling their congressional silver dollars, which are worth about $25. They're going to start selling you the MS-69, so just one little grade lower than the one that went for $7,000. But they're probably going to start charging you $500 or $1,000 for this coin that's worth $25. You don't want to buy this coin after it's gone up. Now that it went for $7,000, it's kind of like playing musical chairs. Do you want to be the last one holding that coin? Well, most salesmen are going to tell you, yes, you do. It went for $7,000. Now it has a track record, right? It's worth $7,000. The problem is the next person who needs that for their collection may not think it's worth $7,000. So you might be the only one who thinks it's worth it. A dealer will be glad to buy that, sell it to the next guy for $10,000, and maybe they run it up, maybe they don't. But wouldn't you make a heck of a lot more money paying $25 for the coin and selling it for $7,000 than buying it for $7,000 and hoping it goes to $10,000? There's a heck of a lot of risk buying that coin for $7,000. I would not want to be the person who owns it. So this is how, if you can follow me at all, this is how we're getting into this modern market. We want to try and pick out the areas of the market where the collectors are jumping in, but we want to buy the coins at the lower price. So still my favorite area would be the eagles, and I don't care if it's silver eagles, gold eagles, platinum eagles. I personally like the platinum and gold eagles better because they're not so darn bulky as a silver. They're easier to manage, they're easier to keep track of, and frankly, there's a lot more activity in those markets. If you get into the platinum and the gold, I would stick with the smaller coins in general. I'd stick with the half-ounce and quarter-ounce coins. That seems to be where the interest lies. So last January, I had clients sell me those coins. We took them back in the market. We sold them to the dealers who were promoting them. And we did very well. I bought millions of dollars worth of that material back from my clients. I guarantee every client who sold me those coins was making a profit or increasing the amount of gold they had. They were giving me a half-ounce coin. I was giving them an ounce back, things like that. So in the meantime, gold's gotten weaker. Gold went down the end of last year. The retail buyers died off, so the dealers are having a struggle getting rid of inventory. Again, I'm repeating myself from a couple shows ago, but a lot of these half-ounce gold coins that, just 3, 4, 5 months ago, dealers are willing to pay $900 to $1,000 for. They're not real interested in taking into inventory right now while sales are down. So those coins are trading for either right at bullion prices, which is the cost of a brand new 2015 half-ounce gold eagle, or maybe $10 or $20 more. So you're able to buy a lot of these coins for anywhere from $700, let's just say $700 to $800, depending on the coin. And they're all coins. When I look at the Coin Dealer newsletter, or I look at Coin World Trends, that's Coin World's valuation of coins, they're all going for $1,000. In Coin World Trends, they have them listed for as much as $1,400, and you can buy them for just a little bit over what the gold's worth in them. I think that's one of the best ways to go. It's definitely the safest way. You're not paying that big collector premium. So if I'm wrong, you're not paying a collector premium to start with. You're buying them as gold coins. It's been very profitable in the past. I think that market's coming back because that's where the collectors are. The dealers are going to follow the collectors. Now, let me give you a couple examples of coins that you could actually buy. If you look at the $25 gold eagles, the 1986, that's the first year of issue. I really like that year. If you look at the mintage, there's 600,000 made, so that would tell you maybe I'm crazy to like that year, but it's the first year. Next year's the 30th anniversary of the gold eagles. I'm going to be real surprised if you don't see a lot of dealers doing 30th anniversary promotions. They did 10-year anniversary. They did 20-year anniversary. The Mint will probably do some kind of 30-year anniversary. So that's going to be a big push for both that year, the 1986, and it's also going to be a big push for the half-ounce gold eagles. That's something, again, that's a year off, but I think that's something on the back burner that'll help that particular date. Some other dates I really like are 1993, 94, 97, even 99, which was, again, a fairly common year, but you just don't see them that often. 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all good years. So you've got about 14 different years that you could buy as bullion coins with a real honest chance, regardless of gold going up, that these could go from $750 to $1,000 in the fairly near future. And I don't think gold's doing anything real quick. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong about gold, you make money anyway, so hopefully I am wrong. But these are all coins you can buy very close to what the gold value's worth, and you have a really honest chance of getting $1,000, $1,200 out of these coins as the dealers burn through their inventory and continue promoting the coins. So there's one specific example of coins that you could buy. You might look through your coins, see if you already own those coins. The same is true of a lot of the quarter-ounce coins, and if you get into platinum, the platinum coins are even rarer than those. And you can buy those coins too. Almost any of the half-ounce platinum or quarter-ounce platinum would fit this program also. So we'll be right back in a minute. All right, we're back. I'd like to sum up a little about what we're talking about. It's just the market's down right now. It doesn't matter if you're talking about rare coins, gold, silver, platinum. And I find that when the market's down, that's when it that's when it pays off. That's when it's worth sitting down, taking a look at what you have. At American Federal, that's what we try to do. The first thing is, if you own coins, you own bullion, it doesn't cost you anything to get a second opinion. Give the office a call, 480-553-5282. Send us a list of your coins. We'll be glad to go through it. If you own bullion coins, I'm probably just going to tell you sit tight and wait it out. It just depends what you're looking for. If you're in it, you need to make up losses. Maybe you've bought from some of these salesmen that I'm talking about, and you're not doing so well. You need to do something with a little extra punch, hopefully, to make up for it. I can give you some good ideas with very little risk, like these eagles we're talking about, whether it's gold, silver, or platinum. There's a lot of opportunities there. that, I mean, I'm not going to say you're going to get rich. I'm not going to say you're going to make a ton of money following my recommendations. I am going to tell you it's very, very low risk, assuming you want to be in the metals market. Maybe you don't even want to be in the metals market anymore. We'll be glad to buy your coins and just send you on your way with check or cash. And I see that happening quite a bit now too. I see a lot of people just giving up altogether. You know, there's just so many opportunities out there if you're willing to take your time and take an honest look at your coins and not let your ego get in the way that maybe you made a bad decision, or maybe you listened to a dealer you shouldn't have listened to. Or when I say dealer, I mean a salesman. I do get a lot of people, they just don't want to, I mean, I'm the bad guy, right? I come in, I tell you, you made a mistake. I tell you, this dealer did this. So, you know, it's, believe me, it's not fun for me either, telling people that that's what happened. And it's not that I want to tell people they've done it the wrong way or they listen to the wrong people. We've talked about it before. This market's run by salesmen. And we're not financial planners. All I can do is I can give you the information. I can give you the reasons that I like the coins I like. I can explain it to you. If it makes sense to you, you do it. If it doesn't make sense to you, you say, hey, Nick, thanks for the information, and go do what you want to do on it. I'm not going to beat you over the head to listen to me. So I'm not going to give you specific recommendations for investing, but I'm going to give you the information that maybe helps you decide what to do. But it starts with getting a review. Find out what the heck your coins are really worth. Every day I get someone who calls me who thinks they know what they have, and they're shocked when they find out the truth. And it's sad. The last thing you want to do is find out that you don't have what you thought you had when the day comes you want to retire, or you want to pass it on to your kids or your grandkids. That's a terrible time to find out. Worse yet, maybe gold does go to $5,000 an ounce, and now you think it's time to sell, and you're going to find out you own a bunch of St. Gaudens or Morgan dollars. Guess what? There's no market for them. You're going to be stuck just like hundreds of thousands of other people trying to sell these coins into a non-existent market. That's not the time to find out that you're holding the wrong kind of coins. And you know, I say holding the wrong kind of coins because 90% of the people I talk to, they had the right idea. They wanted to buy some gold or silver, platinum, stick it away for a rainy day. You know, stock market goes down, that gold might bail them out. You know, people buy for a lot of different reasons, but most of the time, the people that I talk to, they're smart, or they wouldn't have the money to invest in the first place. They're smart enough to know that maybe they have concerns about the dollar or about the government, and they want to have something a little different than stocks in their portfolio. So they're bright people. My clients are very smart people. They talk to a salesman who's trying to make a living, and sometimes making a living, it does not line up with selling you the best thing for your portfolio. So while the market's down, send us a list, give us an idea what you have, and we'll give you a review. We'll tell you not only what the coins are worth, but I'll tell you how they performed over the last 15 years when gold made its big run and consequently dropped the last 4 years in value. And you can take a look and see if it matches up with what you thought was happening to your coins. I know a lot of dealers, not a lot, I know a couple dealers that no matter when you call them, they're going to tell you you're in a profit position until you ask them for a check. I had a lady who spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands with a company down south, and they insisted she was making money. Somehow when I looked at the list, it was worth maybe 2/3 of what she spent, which, believe it or not, in coins isn't that bad. And they were insisting she was in a profit. So, you know, it's real easy to find out who's telling the truth. I said, just ask them for a check. Tell them you want to sell. Well, when she asked for a check, it was a different story. Well, they couldn't possibly pay her that for the coins because I don't know why. Just obviously I do know why. They weren't worth it, but they were just lying to her, because if they keep telling her the coins are doing well, she's probably going to keep spending money or be satisfied with them. When push came to shove and she asked for money, all of a sudden the dealer disappeared. So again, that's why I think you're better off to make changes now. The second part of that is you might be sitting on some of these coins, these modern coins that are worth a lot of money. I would love to find another person who owns that 2007 platinum coin that's worth $69,000, because I guarantee you if you own that coin, even if you paid a ridiculous price, you're not in it for over $2,000. So chances are, if you own one of those 2007 platinum coins, you probably own it for under $1,000 or $2,000. And I don't know exactly what it'll bring in today's market, but the last one went for $69,000. There's 63 coins out, well, 62 coins out there now, because we found one of them. But there's 62 coins out there, and they're all sitting in somebody's safe deposit box. You don't know if you have 2007 Platinum Eagles, it might be yours. I might have sold it to you. I don't even know. So you might be sitting on something that's worth a heck of a lot of money. You own a half an ounce of platinum that's worth $69,000. I think you grab the money and do something else with it. So you might be sitting on a lot of coins that you don't even know are worth money. The third part of this is that maybe you own some of the coins that have not gone up in value, like those dates of half-ounce gold eagles I told you about, or many of the half-ounce platinum eagles. Maybe you own some of those dates, and they're on my list of coins to purchase right now, or coins to watch out for. Well, if I know you have them, I can keep track of that. I could put you on my my update list when the time does come to get out of those coins. If you already have them, I'll let you know when it's time to sell them. If I don't know you have them, there's no way that I'm going to be able to let you know it when it's time to make a profit on them. So there's a lot of things we can do to help you out, to let you know where you are. Maybe we tweak your portfolio. Maybe you put maybe you trade your coins for something that serves your purpose a little better. But it's really just a matter of getting information, having your coins brought up to date as far as value and potential, and for you to decide what the best thing to do from here is.
You've been listening to Good as Gold with Nick Grovich.